Okay, we're talking about the third idea for sleep habits today, and it is to avoid having sugar. Now, I suggest you avoid having sugar at all times, but if you're having sleep problems because of sugar intake, then start avoiding sugar in the evenings. The longer you go without sugar, the better your sleep is going to be, obviously, but if you're addicted to it, then maybe you should start with the evening. So, why is sugar bad for sleep? Well, sugar increases your cortisol level. Now, cortisol is a flight or fight. It's the anxious feeling that you have. Really hard to sleep when you're feeling anxious and feel like you have to run away from something. So, the least amount of cortisol you can have in your system, the better when you're trying to go to sleep anyway. So more sugar, more cortisol. The other thing it does is it increases inflammation. Sugar has been known to just cause inflammation throughout your body. So the more inflammation you have, the less good you feel, the harder it is to get to sleep. All right, the third thing is it increases the amount of cytokines in your system. Cytokines are sleep regulators, and with more of them, then you don't feel drowsy or sleepy, so you need them to go down, whereas sugar drives them up. So you don't want them, so avoid sugar and you'll have less. And finally, if you have sugar regularly, then most likely you're going to have gut issues. You end up with bloating or whatever it is that causes discomfort, and it's hard to go to sleep when you're uncomfortable. That's, the sugar really ramps up the amount of yeast in your system. I know I've had yeast overgrowth in my gut before. It's not a fun thing. And so with lots of yeast, you have a lot of carbon dioxide or methane, which is not that much fun to deal with. So if you're uncomfortable, it's hard to sleep. So those 4 reasons, stop having sugar in the evening. But of course, you really can't, it's insidious, right? Sugar is in everything. It's anything that's packaged in your drinks. You add it to coffee or tea or whatever it is. Sugar is just a misnomer, right? Or not a misnomer. It's comes under the radar all the time. It's just, you just have it. You don't think about it. So what you have to do is you have to tackle it just like we tackled the other 2, and you have to determine what are you consuming that has sugar in it. So when I started getting off sugar, I have honey now, which is sugar, yes, but I don't have any sugar in any other form. So when I started going off sugar, as much as I can, I started reading labels, which is something you should do. Read labels, and you find that sugar has many different names. Anything from syrup, corn syrup, any kind of dextrin, all that type of thing. That's all sugar. So any type of sugar you want to avoid having in the evening. So make a list of all the things you have in the evening. Do you have a snack before bed? Well, what is your snack? Is it some fruit? Well, you think, fruit's healthy. Well, there is some doubt about that now to a certain degree, because if there's a lot of sugar in the fruit you're having, then just before bed it's probably not such a great thing. So be careful about what you're eating in the evening. You don't really need to eat much in the evening anyway, but if that's your habit, then make a list of all the things you have that have sugar in them, including coffee, tea, soft drinks, even just bubbly water with some kind of sugar in it. Avoid all those type of things. Right. So you have, like we said with the other 2, you're not going to just stop having them, right? It's just not possible. It's possible, I guess, but it's just not likely, right? So you're not likely to just go cold turkey. So what do you do instead? Well, we do the same 3 things, or 4 things, I guess. Determine what it is you eat in the evening that has sugar in it, and when was the last thing you have regularly before you go to bed, right? Then with your list, then make a list of all the benefits you get out of those things that you're eating. Is it comfort food? Is it something you're doing with your family in front of the TV, or whatever it is? What is it that you're getting out of it? Once you have your list of benefits, then attach some kind of other action or food stuff, maybe, to that. That gives you the same benefit as those benefits, right? So, you say I eat, sugar in the evening, like a sugary snack of some kind with my spouse before bed, just, to help us feel more together. It's a ritual we do. Well, maybe you should try a different ritual. Maybe you should, hug and kiss for a while, or maybe you should do some exercise or some stretching together. Whatever it is that avoids the sugar. And once you've got your list of benefits, because you're trying to have a benefit, you have the action that you think you can apply, then pick one on the list, just one. And once you've got that one on the list, do it for 5 minutes before bed rather than having the sugar thing. It's pretty simple. We've talked about this a couple of times before already. If you get the idea, this is very simple to do, and this is the most consistent way of becoming off sugar, getting off sugar completely if you're addicted to it. So do something that is going to give you the same benefit as the thing you're trying to avoid, and just do that for like 5 minutes before, and then do that for a week. Next week, pick something else or extend the one out that you did for 5 minutes. So now you're doing something for 10 minutes besides having sugar before bed. Keep on going, right? When's the last time you want to have sugar? Well, if you want to have sugar at supper time, with your tea or your coffee or whatever it is, that's great. 6 o'clock. Then if you're now drinking or eating something with sugar in it at 8 o'clock, well, in 12 weeks with that plan, you'll be back down to 6, right? And you didn't have to change any major thing all at once. You just developed a little habit of doing some other kind of activity that now, after 12 weeks, is a habit. So there you go. And these are simple things to do, and this is how you change yourself consistently. Be consistent and persistent, just slow change with a goal in mind. All right, next time we're going to be talking about carbs, why it is that you shouldn't have carbs, what it is that makes carbs a problem when you're trying to sleep.